Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of That's Loud with Tegan. This week I have planned to do a really positive podcast episode, and I was gonna do it on the little things in life that give me joy. Because I find that I often I don't know, I keep finding little things that just make my day. That are a bit unusual or a bit not really spoken about, I guess. But I just love those little things. That's what this podcast was gonna be about. But instead I've had such a tough week, and today are basically the straw that broke the camel back, or whatever the saying is. Today I was just on my last nerve, and someone had to just go and poke the bear. So now I feel like my positive energy has faded. So I'm just gonna talk kind of on that subject instead, because that's what's on my mind. But I was talking to my counsellor, my lovely counsellor. And by the way, I don't do counselling for a long period of time. I do it for 6 to 8 weeks a year, and I do it in 6 to 8 consecutive weeks or every other week. And I usually do it in the middle of the year, but this year I did it at the end of the year. No really reason why. I kind of just wait for something to really fuck up my mind to the point where I need to get someone to help me go through it all. And then I give her a call and I'm like, yeah, it's time for my booking. But anyway, in counselling we were talking about how your mind and mental capacity is only able to handle so much before your... I can't remember what the analogy was, but I think it was before your cup overfills. And the way that she described it is that your cup is always half full, and the more things that give you stress and negativity and put a lot on you, that adds water to your cup. And then things like self-care, going out, things that make you less stressed, that takes water out of the cup. And you might get to a point where the cup is so full that you're about to overfill it, and then one little minor inconvenience can just cause a major spill. And I mean, I've been doing counselling for 8 weeks, and I feel like I did actually make a bit of change in finding ways to take water out of my cup and to give myself less stress. But there's certain things that people keep doing that just keep pouring that water back into the fucking cup. And I'm trying very hard to self-regulate and to find the little joys in life and find things that help me solve these problems. But I've just been so frustrated, and especially today, okay, let me walk you through my day, because even today I was just so annoyed with everything that happened. But I went to the gym this morning. When I got up for the gym, I go to the gym at 6. No, I go to the gym at 7 today. And this week in England, the weather has got basically winter weather. So we're in the minuses overnight. So I forget, my car's frozen. So then I'm trying to get it to defrost quickly, because I'm leaving it 5:27 and I have to be there at 7. So I'm scraping my car, it's on full blast, trying to get it to defrost. I was like, okay, minor inconvenience, but it's okay. Then what happened? Then I get home and I try to get into my routine of like getting ready to go riding and stuff, and then that kind of got interrupted, which was fine. But then I'm the kind of person that when my routine in my head is interrupted or changed, I really struggle to get back onto the schedule that I originally had. So then I get distracted by other things, and then I end up running late, and then I like cause more stress for myself. So anyway, I ended up getting ready, but yeah, I wasn't able to do the work that I wanted to do this morning because I ended up like daydreaming and going on my phone and just not doing what I had hoped. And then I was gonna go riding, but the school is frozen, so I can't ride at the yard, which is slightly annoying again because we're at a point where we're trying to get more riding in because Coco is sound and we want to get back into our routine. But we're also entering winter where the weather, we're very weather dependent on whether we can ride or not, because obviously if the school is frozen, or if it's blowing a gale, or if it's raining a shit ton, then I can't really ride. So that's what's a bit annoying. But I was like, it's fine, I'll use the rest of my day to do the work that I wanted to do, that I didn't do, and do like an admin day. Then I kind of got distracted again, and an hour later I realised, oh, the reason why I had to go to the yard was because I had horse feed in my car that my horse needed today because she had run out of food. So I still needed to go to the yard today. So then I got in my car and drove, and I started driving to the yard. My yard is 40 minutes away, so it's not like a quick trip. So I'm starting driving, and then I get a message from someone that just like sent me into a massive rage of like frustration, conversations about like plans for the future coming up and projects that we're working on and what we're looking to do and what we want the project to look like, what we don't want it to look like. And I basically found an idea for this project that I thought worked very well. And I was like, yep, it's great, let's have a look at it. And I just got sent a list of like negative things about it and like how it's not gonna work. It's not really a great idea. Maybe we should rethink the whole idea. And I was just like, oh. I mean, even if what she's saying is right, I feel like we had this conversation already where like we planned what was meant to happen, or like plan B, plan A, plan C, what our minimum requirements are, what our most wildest dreams are. And it's just frustrating when like you're met with such negativity every time you put forward an idea. And that kind of just sent me into like a mind of rage, and my mind was just spiraling. And I was trying very hard to like not let the thoughts like overpower or change the course of my day. But it did, because I literally couldn't think about anything else other than how like just frustrated and angry I was. And I even tried playing like, I have certain playlists that I play during certain situations. Like the playlist that I play before I compete, I love it, is one that I will always enjoy and be relaxed to, and it's not calming music, but I feel calm when I'm listening to it. And the one that I listened to today is just like a bunch of my favourite songs that I love that like always get me hyped. And I literally couldn't even hear the music. I was driving and I couldn't even hear the music because my thoughts were so loud. Like, my brain was just spiraling with all these like thoughts and questions and like rage and frustration and anger and disappointment and all these emotions that I wish that I didn't have, but I now do. And I was just so annoyed by it. I was annoyed even by the fact that my thoughts were like taking over my surroundings, and like I couldn't focus on anything but those thoughts. And when I'm in that kind of mindset where like I am pissed off or I am angry, then everything else that goes on around me pisses me off, and it's very hard to get out of that mindset. So I also realised once I was like halfway there, I was like, okay, you also haven't eaten yet, so let's maybe get some lunch, because you're probably also quite hungry. So let's eliminate that factor. So I got a sandwich, and that was actually really delicious. I loved it, actually. But that helped slightly, because then I was slightly less angry, and I had time to just, let my whoa. I had time to let my mind cool down and like forget about it for a minute and just enjoy my sandwich. I'm always saying this, I do think I need to eat more frequently, because I eat very big meals and I try to eat as healthy as I can, but I'm very good at like working through a meal, or like I get so focused on work and training and everything else going on in my life that sometimes I forget to fuel my body. And I've been trying to work on it, and I am getting better, but I need to start to prioritize, especially lunch. I feel like lunch is the meal that I often forget, but lunch is probably when I need the most fuel in my body, because it's doing the most work at that time. So that's going to be a goal for next year. But being hungry obviously doesn't make the situation better. So after my sandwich, I felt a little bit better, because I wasn't as hungry. But yeah, it's been one of those weeks, and it feels like every day this week has been that kind of day where it's like one thing after another that just keeps like adding water to my cup, and it was bound to overflow, but it probably needed to overflow for me to actually sit back and like sort out my life again. So that's gonna be on the agenda for this evening. Oh, also, the other thing that I almost had a panic attack about was I dyed my hair this week. It's meant to be orange, it's meant to be cowboy copper, but it kind of ended up red. And for anyone that knows me, you know that I absolutely do not like red hair on myself. Last year, or maybe like 2 years ago, I accidentally got my hair dyed bright red, like Ariel, and it looked beautiful, but it wasn't what I wanted, and I literally bawled my eyes out, and I didn't cry for shit, but I cried because I just felt like I looked like the McDonald's clown. And when I looked in the mirror, I literally just saw a clown, and I couldn't get past it. So anyway, my hair is red again, but a slightly darker tone of red. I'm not yet panicking, and I'm not yet having a meltdown about it, but I can feel it brewing, so that might also be on the cards, but I have to deal with it for 8 weeks, because that's until my next appointment, unless I can get it fixed before then. But yeah, that's what caused my cup to almost overfill earlier this week. I will say I will probably am getting better at also letting water out the cup, because I do prioritise a few things that help me. I prioritise my sleep. I try to get at least 7 to 8 hours each night, because I find that if I get less, my day isn't as good, or my day isn't as productive. I usually get tired earlier if I don't get a lot of sleep, so I either rely on caffeine or I just start to like fade away halfway through the day. So I prioritize sleep. I prioritize like time to wind down away from work. One thing that my all girls school kind of got into me mentally was that you work hard and you work until 9 p.m. every night, and then you have an hour of downtime, and then you go to bed. And they kind of got that mentality into us from a young age, because we have so much work to do. And yeah, the school basically gave this like structure and schedule that if you were to be successful in life, then you have to work hard for it, and you have to work until 8-9 p.m. and then you can have downtime and go to bed. To be fair, I don't even know I don't know when that got taught into our like psyche, but it's definitely something that I learned from school. But lately I've been working probably until 10 p.m. and then having a hour-ish of like time to wind down, which then obviously makes me go to bed later. So I'm going to try and work on bringing that back down to 9, so that I can have like actual time to relax and decompress. What else? I really prioritise things that bring me joy, which was what I was going to talk about. But this year, because I haven't been riding as much, I really put a lot of my money and energy into music, because I absolutely love music, and it's one thing that always brings me joy. It's definitely a career. Hello? It's definitely a career that or an industry that I would like to go into eventually. Whether that's like what they call journalists for music and artists and concerts, or I would love to be someone that just got like invited to go to concerts and like give a review on it, because I feel like I could do it in two ways. I could either do it in like accessibility way and address how a lot of these concert venues may not be as accessible as they could be, or like what they could do to improve, because there's so many things that I can already think about that concerts could do to improve accessibility at the venues. But I also just absolutely love music, and I really want to learn more about the terminology around it, but I think I just really would like to be a journalist in the form of like concerts and music, because it's one thing that I literally probably couldn't live without. Like I love it so much. Like it's my favourite thing. So this year I have gone to an awful lot of concerts, but I will say that a lot of them have been actually very reasonably priced, because I tend to book to see smaller artists, or I book my tickets way in advance and they're a lot cheaper, or I book them last minute and then they're really, really cheap. So, I think I'm gonna do an actual list of who I've seen this year later on in a different video. But this month I've seen Zara Larsson, who was awesome. I loved her music since she first started. She is a killer performance, killer vocalist. Her dancing and singing at the same time, flawless. She's just an overall great performer and great stage artist, I guess. That's what. But yeah, I loved that concert. That was just really fun and really it's just summer vibes, and then you go outside and there's winter, but it was the best. I loved it. Then last night I saw Beth McCartney, and she's an artist from London, and I would say she's pop rock, queer music. And she was actually so awesome. I think rock, or that kind of style of music, is one that I kind of got more into this year. I really love anything with really loud bass and guitar and drums. I just love the whole feeling it brings when you're in a room when someone's really rocking out. It's so cool and so fun, and I loved her. She was really good. I'm really excited to see where she goes. And then I'm also seeing Isabel La Rosa next week, who I'm excited about a lot, actually. I'm really excited to hear how she puts together a set and how she puts together a show. I feel like she's such an interesting artist because she found her sound and she stick to it, and especially with this album, to me, audibly, a lot of the tracks sound very similar, but they just have a different tempo or guitar, or obviously the lyrics are different, but it has such a similar sound of such a solid. It's a really solid sound for an album, and I just find it interesting how she's done that. How all of the songs sound like they're within the same family, and I'm really interested to see how she puts that together in the show. And again, those tickets were very reasonably priced, and it's just to me, it's the same thing as going to the cinema nowadays. The cinema is so expensive, and I love movies. I studied film. I love movies, but I do love live music a lot more, because I just love to be able to actually feel the music going through your body. It's definitely it's a sensory thing for me. I just love being able to feel the ground beneath me shaking and the bass flowing through my veins. I love it. I definitely think music is therapy, and one thing that I couldn't live without. So music is also one of the things that I've been doing more of this year to give myself some sanity and something to look forward to. I try not to book too much for next year, because I know that I'm going to be a lot busier, but I've still got a few shows in there to add that little bit of joy within my year. What else do I do? I'm also just trying to connect with people more and be in contact with people more. I don't really get a lot of time to socialise, and if I do, I really like to be around people that I love and that love me and that I know that are gonna have a good time and not be draining my energy. So I'm trying to prioritise seeing people and socialising as well. But that's also something that I struggle with because I'm just a bit of an introvert and I'm a bit of a I don't love being in loud places when socialising because I'm not really a loudspeaker and my hearing isn't great in loud environments. So I like to socialise more in quieter settings, like a coffee at a cafe or I don't know, come around the house. I don't know. I like to be in quieter situations, but I'm trying to do that more and to just be around people that give me good energy and good vibes. What else? I mean, the other thing that I'm trying to do is just sort out my life a little bit. But one thing that I am gonna buy because it is Black Friday this week, which I'm quite excited about because I've got a list of things that I was meant to buy. Some for the horse, some for my personal use and fantasy. But yeah, I'm quite happy that it's Black Friday because then I obviously save money without having to do work to find vouchers or anything. But I'm buying this calendar that you put on your wall that is digital that plans out your diary per day. It also plans your meal prep and it plans your to-do list or chore charts or just your overall calendar. And I think having that would help me because I have a lot going on. I have a lot of projects that I am working on and I need help to organise it all. And I definitely think next year I'm gonna look into getting a personal assistant or someone to just assist me with a few things because my brain is just overloaded with information and things that I've got to do that they either don't get done or they get forgotten about or I don't prioritise the right things. So having my calendar and someone beside me to help me do all these things would be great because next year, as we all know, is a big year. We're aiming for the World Equestrian Games and we have that journey with Coco. We will also hopefully have a second horse by next year. And then next year I also have a new podcast with a new co-host on the cards. I still have this podcast, which I love, and I love doing it and enjoying my little diary mind vomit sessions. What else have we got going on? I've got to get a new job because my job contract ends in January, so I'm going to be looking for a new job. But I also really want to try and focus on my freelance work and my self-employment, I guess. But as a freelancer, I really want to continue doing my public speaking and speaking at schools and panels and conferences about disability awareness, disability inclusion, sports, what it's like to be a para-athlete, my journey, and what else? There's so many things I think about. I talk about cerebral palsy a lot. I talk about what it's like in the medical world, what it's like in the legal world, what it's like in the educational world. I don't know, I feel like I want to dive into any aspect of life that people need, and I want to continue to explore that. I also want to continue with my presenting journey and do more TV and media presenting. That's always been kind of an aspiration in life for me, is to be someone that is a storyteller, that is like sharing other people's stories, sharing my stories, being the representation that I needed when I was young on screen, and not to brag, but there's not a lot of people like me, especially in the media, and I still think it's so important, because when you feel like you don't have anyone that you see that represents you, it's really hard to feel like you fit into the world, or to feel like you're seen and heard and wanted. And it's just something that I've always wanted to do. I've always wanted to be that person, or a part of the journey that kind of someone might look at me and think, oh, I relate to her, and I'm glad that she's on the screen because I see myself in her. And it's also just a journey that I personally love. I love everything to do with TV and media. I studied it for 4 years. I have 2 films that I produced and wrote when I was like 12 and 15. I have worked on many projects with many other people, and I just want to continue to grow up my career in that sense, and to be, on screen in different ways, and see what I can do further. I just think it's such an exciting career to be in, and I really want to see how far I can make it in the world of TV and presenting. I will say I'm definitely not an actor. I cannot act to save my life. I haven't done it in a long time. I did it at school, but I'm really not an actor, so unless I'm acting like myself, don't ask me to act, because I just find everything really funny, and I don't know how to act, so I'm not a good actress. But I'm a good presenter, and I'm learning the way of the ropes, and I'm really excited for what is to come in the future. And to be fair, I also wouldn't mind doing more modelling. I've not done it in a little while, but I do actually really enjoy it. I enjoy it. I feel like it's just a really fun job to have. And especially in the world of like sports and makeup, and I particularly love like lingerie or swimwear, because I don't know, I feel like I'm the most me when I can like see my body and appreciate my body for what it is. I just feel the most confident. So any swimwear brands or any underwear brands that would like a disabled model, please follow me, because I would more than happy to come and join you on any campaign. And to be fair, one campaign which I'm determined to get is Savage Fenty, and the Fenty beauty and hair brand. I have been a fan of Rihanna my whole life. My first ever CD that I bought was Rihanna's. I remember when her album came out, one of her first albums. I was basically probably one or two, but I still remember like watching the music videos and being just like absolutely in awe of this woman and everything that she does. And I'm still in awe of her and her work ethic and her like drive and determination within like the new industry of clothing and then hair and makeup. It's all things that I love, and I've been using her product and using her, like wearing her clothing line for a while now, a good while, and I would love to work with her so much. And especially, I don't know if you remember, but she did a fashion show. What do they call it? A catwalk. She did a catwalk for Savage Fenty, Savage X Fenty a few years ago, and her catwalk was truly the first fashion show where I saw true diversity and true inclusion of everyone. Like, everyone was on that catwalk, from every race, every size, every height, every ability. She had everyone on that catwalk. And I remember watching it, and I was like, I was terrified to ever do any kind of modelling or any kind of like catwalk. I always thought that I can never do it. But when I saw that, I was like, I want to be on that catwalk. That catwalk gave me so much confidence, even just watching it. I was just like, my life's goal is to be on that catwalk and to be representing Savage X Fenty, because she truly is such an amazing like ambassador for diversity and inclusion. And I've had that goal literally for like maybe 10 years. I mean, probably, I don't know how long it's been out now, but it feels like a long time. But I still stand by what I said. I really want to work with her, and in any way possible. But I feel like it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. I'm manifesting it, and I feel like a lot of what I manifested at the start of the year has come to fruition. So I'm gonna continue to manifest that and see how we get on. But yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it there this week. I'm actually feeling a lot more positive by the end of this, so thank you guys for sitting with me and let me rant and get all these thoughts off my mind and allow me to leave here in a happier state. I do now have a lot of work to do still, so I am going to go and get on with that. But thank you all for listening. And I think I originally said that this might be the last episode of the year or of the season, but I think I might continue a little bit longer. So yeah, I'm pretty sure you'll hear from me again. But for now, have a good weekend, or evening, or morning, or night. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you all for putting up with me and for sitting and enjoying my rants, because I enjoy having my little brain rot rants with you guys. And I'll see you in the next episode.